Okay. Wow, this is a big set here, my friend. So here's the deal. We are in Group A of T90 Titans League. This is round 4 of 5. And this is number 1 and number 2 in Group A right now. But that is not how it's necessarily confirmed to be leading up towards the conclusion of the group. We have Viper, who's playing as the Teutons. Viper has 8 wins out of 9. Viper pretty set to move on out of the group, right? I think that's confirmed at this point. It is still a battle to see who is going to be first, but Viper well up there in first place. And then you have DauT in second with 5 wins. But you have Viper 8, you have DauT 5, you have Jordan, Miguel, and Classic Pro 4-4-4, and then you have Say My Name at 2, with Say My Name also having 2 rounds upcoming. So it's not so much about DauT and Viper when you're talking about who's going to be relegated. It's more so the others. Group A is highly contested. Now, I did not see the series live. We're casting this as Rex. I've not been spoiled, but I was told by Robo that Viper apparently mischose his civilization, and he picked a civ that wasn't on his draft. And so DauT got to choose Viper's civilization, and he gave Viper Teutons. So I was alarmed when I saw Viper was Teutons. I was like, wait, what? Teutons for Arabia? Apparently, Viper got his civ wrong for the first game. And then per the rules, if your opponent does that, because they'll see your civ, and then you have to restart, you get to pick their civilization. The Viper received the Teutons, which he's actually quite good with, from DauT for game 1. So Mayans, Teutons, I would definitely give the advantage to the Mayans. I think that particularly the Plumed Archer is a unit that can be tough for the Teutons to deal with. But Teutons do have cheap farms. Teutons have great knights. They have good siege. And Viper, again, is a pretty good player when it comes to Teutons here. What's the prediction? Yeah, my prediction is 2-1 Viper because I honestly think... Okay, so here's where it gets tricky. Like, Viper... He is already set. Like, there's no, like, massive pressure for him, right? He's not feeling this need to perform 110% in every single one of these games. Whereas, like, all the other players might. Now, I'm not saying Viper's going to troll. I'm not saying Viper's going to, like, make it easy on DauT. But I could see situations, possibly, where Viper's a little lazy here or there. Remember how he played against Classic Pro Game 3? I was astounded he lost 5 villagers to Classic Pro. Classic Pro got a very important win against Viper in the conclusion of their series. I think maybe something like that could happen. So I'm definitely thinking with like fortified clearing and arena out there in the map pool that I could see DauT getting a win. Now, if DauT doesn't get the win, then it just makes Group A closer. Because, again, DauT having 5 and then the other players being 4-4-4 below him. But, yeah, I guess we'll end up seeing. But Group A is one of the closest groups right now. Viper looking to scout, and he sees DauT right here. And Viper has an incredible win rate against DauT over the last, like, 5 or so years. I really don't see a world where DauT wins 2-1 or 3-0 against Viper here. Those are my predictions. But obviously, if DauT does either of those things, then it's a conversation of, okay, who's going to be first and second in the group between DauT and Viper, most likely. Ridvik says, does 2x speed work for previous parts of the video? I put it at 2x speed and it runs at 1 time only. I don't know if that works when I'm live. I think it would work on the VOD, but I don't know if that works when I'm live. Also, we are going to keep Viper as yellow because it's Viper and he's known for yellow. Apologies if that makes it a little harder to see some of these things. Viper is going to go for the militia. He also scouted that DauT was going to do the same. And Viper's actually going for 3 militia. It's very uncommon for the Mayans to do that, because they spend 50 gold on Loom at the start, and then they need to collect 10 gold to make the third. But as you can see, DauT already collected the 10 gold, so DauT will be okay. DauT also attacking Viper's villager. DauT's probably complaining now because Viper gets the quick walls down. Very well played from DauT to ask questions of Viper there. But very well played from Viper to get the walls down. Still doesn't want to run away with the Vill, though. Could still lose this. Yeah, no, I mean, Viper, anytime he's playing events, anytime all these guys are playing events, they're taking it very seriously and they're playing to win, right? Again, but like, you know, example A, picking your wrong civ, I have no clue what happened there, but Viper's already kind of behind because of some weird thing that has happened here, so. Ooh, the Drush gets in. DauT couldn't get the walls down. I have to say, the DauT's militia numbers are very late for him here. And he also had that really bad series against Jordan, where Jordan 3-0'd him. Like, he had instances there as well where he was also very late with the militia on this type of a build. Viper with the control for now. And Viper so far almost looks like he wants to go fast castle with how many farms he has. But then again, he is Teutons. I think that's deceiving. IT90, why is your stream and YouTube video so quiet? It is a little bit lower than some other things out there. I'm going to look into that. But honestly, I haven't really had people bring that up until recently. So, like, it was a thing 2 years ago. And then it got brought up again recently. So I hope nothing got worse. I didn't change anything. Viper still hasn't clicked up to the feudal age. Viper trying to kill this villager here. Sees the villagers exposed. And the villager should be safe for now because she's loomed and she's separated from the scout. Viper just wants to harass DauT as much as possible. DauT on gold right now. And the fact that DauT, like, queued up militia, canceled militia, did all this might leave Viper confused too. Also, I'm not really sure about this wall. Obviously, Mayans known for their walling, but that's a pretty far wall out there for DauT. Yeah, I don't think things changed, but I think that my audio does tend to run a little bit lower than most, like, videos or streams you might watch on the internet. That's not high up on my priority list right now because I have so many other things I'm busy with. But I think if I could find a way to realize what that is and just boost it by 20% or whatever, it wouldn't be too bad. I think it'd be helpful. I think it's better than being louder than everything, though, because there's nothing worse than, like, showing up to something and having it be, like, 10 times louder. And, oh, DauT Eagle gets trapped! Oh, man, what a play from Viper there. Well played. But did Viper scout the militia coming forward? That's my question. He's going to see it now. He's trying to push in a deer. And Viper's gone up to feudal age very late here. Look at the confidence. He's like, I got this, DauT. What are you going to do? And DauT, DauT runs into the TC, and oh my god, guys. This has just been a very DauT game so far. Oh my god. It really is two different players sometimes. Sometimes you're like, this guy's macro and decision-making is insane. And then other times you look at it and you just can't believe your eyes. Jeez, man. Like, loses all 3 militia. Also got his eagle trapped. Viper with 4 kills, like it's nothing. Viper goes for the range. Viper goes for the blacksmith now. We'll see if he can get the food to click up to Castle Age. But DauT really under pressure. He's going to have to really spend a lot of his time here going after the militia with the archers, so it's not like he can pressure Viper. The fact that he pushed in the deer and killed the drush is ridiculous. Listen, as much as I'd love to kill... It's ridiculous that DauT made the mistake, yes. Viper pushing the deer casually is like, so confident and cool. But I can't give Viper a lot of credit for that, because the high-level Age of Empires, you never see anyone lose 3 militia to a TC like that. A lot of that has to be, what are you doing, DauT? Not necessarily just, wow, Viper, what a play, you know? A combination of both. Positives for DauT would be he is Waltz. Positives for DauT would be he hasn't lost any villagers. Negative thing here for DauT would be the fact that Viper's on the way to Castle Age. We'll see what Viper's approach is. Teuton's a rather awkward civ off of a fast castle, because they're... The easiest strategy to go for off of a fast castle is probably crossbow, because the units themselves are pretty cheap. You can make them while you're on the way up. And then also the crossbow when upgrade's pretty cheap as well and gives you a lot of value. Viper just trying his best to, again, buy time, keep this army in DauT's base as long as possible. And DauT is probably going to build a market, okay? It's not the boldest prediction for a caster to say DauT's going to build a market, but just wait for it, okay? It's going to happen soon. DauT is going to... He has intentionally sent extra villagers to gold. I think there's a quote from DauT that his favorite building is the market, so... What will Viper choose to do here? Like, Viper's army count is also really, really low right now. This is not an army that's going to kill Viper, but... sorry, kill DauT, but it could pick away at him. But guys, DauT... He looked so good. He got 5 wins out of 6 when he played, what was it, Miguel? And then Say My Name, I think. He 3-0'd Miguel, and then he beat Say My Name 2-1. And then up against Jordan, he did not look good at all. And let's hope that DauT can really, like, pick it up a notch, I guess, in this particular game, because obviously kind of a disaster start for him. Viper Getting crossbow, getting bodkin. Everything's kind of at the limit. Not floating a lot of resources here. And he now sees this eagle, which could tell him that DauT is here. And now he sees DauT. But let's see what DauT sees. DauT will know the upgrades could come in for Viper, and he's trying to dive and getting close. So far, DauT hasn't gotten any kills. He probably will get one. That's not bad. He also will see the siege workshop, which is helpful in some ways. Overall, not bad for DauT to push this back, but he could still lose his whole army. Great micro from the snake. DauT has to run back. I'm sure he's not feeling too good about things so far. 9 kills, 4 deaths for Viper. It was made pretty easy work of everyone in the group so far. Okay, actually, I didn't have this up all day. Now that we're casting DauT, we need to have this up. He sold his stone, he bought food. He knows he needs to go all in. Yeah, he knows he's in big trouble. Viper's already in Castle Age and pushing him. And so DauT, seeing that Siege is the choice, is going to go for Eagles here. There's honestly maybe a chance that if DauT would have seen that, he could have used the Eagles against the Siege. I like the house walls, and I like the fact he's adding buildings that will stop the crossbows from moving in. Yeah, Viper going for the kill here real early. Has enough food eco for crossbows, no problem. Viper kills his own crossbows. His micro's so good, guys. His micro's so good. Okay. Both players have shown they're human. It's so fun watching these two, though. And DauT didn't have a house. And now the army just moves in over here. It feels like such a sloppy move. I guess he just didn't think Viper would be bold enough to move in. The Eagles won't take out the siege. Now DauT is leaving his base. And that's actually the safest option for him. There he goes. Loop-de-loop-de-loop-de-loop. They might actually survive. Great thinking from him, honestly. Because that could have been a whole lot worse. But you really need to get the villagers back in your base right now, or not, or you just keep running. Okay. And I guess Viper's now got a target, and his target is to just take out these villagers, because that'd be awesome. He's got a knight on the way. And Viper will know that his opponent's going Eagles as well, right? So knight would make sense. Wow. Messy game so far, right? Viper with the pressure. DauT getting wrecked every time he goes into any fight. These villagers now on the run. DauT does have a really crazy knack for coming back in games where he gets pushed up against the wall, though, because he tends to use the market and go all in anyhow. It just gives him an extra reason to go aggressive, and that's what he'll do. He'll kill the scout. Viper hoping to distract with that. These villagers still on the move. Viper trying to track that down while also needing to protect his siege. Needing to micro his knights. There's a chance something's got to give here. But no, Viper, good attack ground there to weaken. Still after the vills. DauT with the house wall. DauT keeps the vills alive. Dang. Okay, Viper siege also went down. Knights for Viper. Kind of splitting up from each other. This guy, I don't think he can take 3 Eagles all on his own, and DauT still continues to run towards the corner. Also, Viper on a second TC now. Viper knows he has a lead. Don't ask me how he hasn't killed more than 2 villagers so far. And now Viper is going to go search for those. I think he's expecting DauT to loop back, so he's sitting a crossbow there. And that's exactly what DauT's going to do. That's so smart from DauT to try and loop back. Yep. But now DauT's going to see the crossbow. And DauT's going to say, Oh my god, he kills the crossbow. Oh my god. And now he's off. What is happening, man? Also, the Eagles, there's so many of them. There's 13 Eagles. They've taken out the knight. And Viper, I mean, he's kind of losing control over this game. Oh, no, that's where the knights are. Okay, all right. I was going to say, I didn't know where the numbers were. Hey, I mean, kudos to the villagers. Because if I'm going to die, I at least want to keep my family members alive. So kudos to the villagers for that, man. A lot of villagers would have just died inside, and then their family members would have followed. So respectable. Respectable decisions there. Okay, so 8-1 Eco KD. DauT looking to change that. He shows up with the Eagles. We see Viper's Knights do not get husbandry. That's one of the weaknesses of Teutons. One of the only weaknesses of Teutons, I'd say. And DauT underneath the TCs. No problem so far, but it feels like he's desperate for damage, right? Viper trying to loop in there. Viper. Lots of idle time underneath the town centers. most of his eco's idle at the moment because of this. Also, hasn't brought the Knights back. And DauT housewalling that out. Viper with housewalls. And Viper's eco idle time is insane. Obviously, he's going to lead to some kills here, but it's 46 villagers versus 39. DauT does have a lot of eagles in the middle. Now, you have to really reconsider adding any monks against Teutons because they do resist conversions, but normally you'd want to go monks. Maybe instead, DauT will go pikes. DauT still happily just running underneath the TCs. I don't know. I feel like Viper's a little sloppy here to not kill these earlier. His knights were just sitting there, but obviously he's got a lot of things going on. Overall KD is 34-17. Viper doesn't have a single Castle Age eco upgrade, by the way. He doesn't have the wood upgrade, doesn't have the farm upgrade. DauT's at least getting the wood upgrade. And Viper researching bloodlines in a stable that has just gone down. He will have forging, but he will not have bloodlines, and he knows it at least, so he's going to get that now. DauT now going for a siege workshop. Interesting choice. Again, I think against any other civ, you would probably go for a monastery. I still think there's an argument to maybe still add a monastery, but yep, there's pikemen. When can you dive TCs with eagles? So, you know, it's the same deal where you want to have +2 armor, but you know, like anything else, it does kind of depend. But yeah, you know, the other thing you have to factor in this case is that Viper has Bodkin Arrow too, so you have to factor that in. It's not just what upgrades you have, it's what they don't have. Obviously, Teuton Knights not the most mobile ever, but they are still more mobile than the Eagles, so Viper going in. And Viper knows what's up. He knows that DauT's got some crazy numbers right now. And supplies! Supplies for Viper. He's going to switch Longswords. Now, on paper, Longsword is the perfect play, okay? Didn't think we'd be saying supplies in Castle Age today. This is epic. But yeah, on paper, supplies is the perfect play. You want to get as many Longswords out as possible here. The weakness of Longsword is the fact that they are still slower. And the Eagles can always outrun them. So we'll see what happens there. But yeah, I mean, Teutons get extra melee armor on their infantry and also their knights and castle. So it's especially a good unit to add right here. Oh, but Viper gets caught out. Viper, again, it just feels like first game of the day vibes a little bit here or there. It's a little slow from here or there, but, you know, DauT's still in this. DauT with 34 army. Viper, again, needs to get away from here. And lots of idle time for the snake. Longswords also cost a lot of resources to get into. You need man-at-arms. You ideally get supplies. After that, you need longsword. Then you need the numbers. By then, DauT could be making archers again. And that's precisely what DauT's going to do. Also, I'm very curious in if this tiger is attacking the weak knight. It's possible. Tiger could get a kill here, guys. A 4th TC for Viper. Wow. I mean, I know you're Teutons, but 4 TCs is insane. And DauT's aggression is insane as well. And he knows. He knows he needs to go for the kill, guys. He's got rams here. Viper able to loop back home. Viper now with 8 longswords. Did anyone see if he got squires? I'm going to assume he does have squires with the way they're moving right now. Okay, Viper's Knights not really looking too strong anymore. DauT all in here. And I love it. I honestly love it. Also love the decision to go back into crossbows after seeing the longswords. 80 pop versus 90 pop. DauT's eco isn't that bad for 1 TC. 53 villagers. He's going to go over to stone as well. There's a lot of golds in the middle of the map right now. This is a ridiculous game. So, I mean, if Viper's going to fight, he's going to want to fight straight infantry. But now the crossbows are here. He needs the knights involved. And he's not really feeling comfortable. So here comes DauT. He sends the infantry inside the rams. They'll move a little bit faster if you do that. Plus, you can always, you know, keep your army protected inside those rams. DauT is actually destroying his own rams at the moment, which is painful. And okay, let's see if Viper can defend this. It feels like he kind of has to. DauT has so much military. If Viper, okay, longswords into the TC. Now he hops out. That was nifty, man. That was a nice little trick. Oh, man, that was crazy. We're going to have to rewatch that one possibly if Viper defends because of it. Some big shots here, guys, but the Longswords don't have full armor, and Longswords are pretty bad against archers anyways. And DauT, the same player who lost 3 militia to a town center earlier in the game, he's this guy as well. He's the one who's somehow bringing it back against Viper. Now, what Viper's looking to do is he's looking to snipe reinforcements. And that's a really good play in this situation. I also really like the addition of his own siege right now. You can see the knights are waiting. Nothing's coming out. Also love this. Okay, that's not a crossbow. But I do like how DauT is at least trying to spread out a little bit. But you never want to spread out too much. Because especially when you know Viper's got all this economy. Okay, Viper very patient. Perhaps too patient at times. Looks like the knights picked off a couple units. DauT now backing away. DauT adding university. It's going to be for ballistics. He's still all in. Hey, by the way, everybody, look at the idle TC time for Viper for a second. This is what I want to just point out. And this is not saying that Viper necessarily had a bad game. But there is a beauty in keeping one town center producing and putting everything else into your army. Right? Like, look how much army you're able to field, and then look at the eco difference. Viper's gone for the early TC, sure. But if you want to keep those producing all the time and make army, it's very difficult. And so Viper's had to choose a lot of the time. And he's had to choose army in many of these situations. So one TC play is not bad, but DauT over chops. Why do I compliment anybody, man? Oh, man, that hurts. Okay, that hurts. You know, now the clock's ticking a little bit more for DauT. Viper with the longsword siege combo. The combo that everyone expected once we saw this. Again, he got given Teutons because he mispicked his civilization. They had to replay it. Not actually very desperate for gold at the moment. He doesn't actually have gold. And is he going to click imp? What? He's going to click imp without gold? Are you freaking kidding me, dude? I mean, he could take this gold and this gold. But, like, it's so crazy is what it is, man. It's crazy. But I guess now he realizes that he really needs his crossbows to be upgraded. I don't think it's going to be about eagles anymore. I think it's going to be more about the crossbows. Oh, man. He needs a big siege shot, though. He desperately needs this to land. Because if he can take the siege out, he can buy himself time. Otherwise, uh-oh. Viper knowing this, also keeping an eye on this gold. He must know the situation here. He's trying desperately to take out the workshop. He will take this out before the siege comes out. Man, longswords are so good at that. 83 vills for the Viper. 53 right now for DauT. Viper goes for a TC so he can't be raided. And Viper, is he possibly expecting DauT to be up? It's such a ridiculous thing for DauT to do. DauT, who says he can't micro. He micros. Now he needs to run away from the longswords, though. Viper, I guess, feeling confident enough to take an engagement. He does have a pretty good surround here right now. Obviously, could use some more siege as well. And yeah, longswords are eating the crossbows like it's nothing. DauT was 74 pop, 120 pop for Viper. Again, Viper's still full longsword, though. He hasn't switched back into knights. He is adding more siege, but it's going to take some time. I don't know. Like, I thought DauT would be dead at this stage. Let's put it that way. I thought DauT would be dead at this stage. And he's somehow in it. With this being his gold right now on 1 TC. So, maybe there's a slight chance. I mean, the army is still going to be insane. Like, Viper needs to go all-in castle. But I think with his eco, we could probably just switch back into knights and do it. Viper will obviously be building up towards defensive castles. And here he goes with longswords now. Ballistics is in for DauT. He can't afford Arbalest, sadly, but Bracer will be a big help. If DauT loses an army here, it feels like it could be the end for him. Let's see. Ooh, good micro. Has longswords to deal with right now, so he's running away. This is ridiculous, man. Oh, is DauT going to go for a forward castle? I could see that. That would be a very DauT thing. Is just send... Look at Viper use the market so we can click up. Just send all the villagers forward and just drop a forward castle on him. And here he goes. Here he goes. He's going to drop it. Viper's already dropping his own castle, though, and Viper has siege. Viper's crossbows, they will, or not Viper's crossbows, sorry, DauT's crossbows will wreck Longsword. But DauT has had to kind of leave his base with the villagers and send the crossbows home now. And DauT's at 53 villagers. Viper is in a perfect position now. I know losing those longswords hurts, but now the castle can't go up for DauT. Viper's buying himself time towards his own trebs. The only question I'll continue to ask is what is Viper's army comp going to be? And I think the right play is knights. So he's adding more stables. He's going to go into knights. Castle will go up for DauT now. Viper, I don't know. Like, maybe could have been more bold with his mangonel there. I was expecting him to try and get a hit. But yeah, Viper obviously respecting the fact that Arbalest will be in the moment and that this is something he just cannot fight for now. Okay, so, again, forced out to micro. DauT gets the micro down. There you go. I don't know. I'm not super convinced with how much... with the lack of farming eco for the Viper right now. Feels like with 600 wood, you should have a lot more farms with the Teutons. Particularly in this area, because you've got space and it's safe. So, didn't seem to really, you know, expect DauT to run this way. He's got to get some stone walls down. DauT somehow has score lead, if that means something to you. DauT 58 vills, though. 58 vills. All in Trebs and Arbalest at the moment. Holy cow. Okay, Viper. He'll be happy to see his castle gets a couple hits here. Viper doesn't have stone income right now, guys. He would need to take this stone, which is something that DauT can actually see. This should be DauT's perspective, yes. So Viper won't be able to repair his castle for too long. Let's see how many knights he can make. Why is DauT's Vill count so low? Because he's been 1 TC the whole game. He never made a second TC. Everything's army for him. He's playing full... Like, the thing that's good about DauT is he's never allowing Viper to rest. If you're playing all in, never allow them to raid you because you need them to react to you all the time. But yeah, like, Viper's made a crap ton of villagers in this game. That's how normal games go, but DauT fell behind early, so he said, let's just go for the military. DauT doesn't have anything protecting his trebuchets, it's true. Yeah, that could be a really big difference here, right? Viper, oh, he's got the knights here. Armor's in now. So armor should be enough to push back smaller groups of Arbs. Viper's still repairing his castle. He does have stone income now. Or at least Capture Age says he does. I guess it's underneath the castle here. Viper just needs to snipe these Trebs right now. Trebbor's fine, but I would love to see Viper actually snipe the trebuchets with Cav because DauT doesn't have army there. Viper obviously has to avoid this army. But yeah, I mean, he's going to run over to DauT's base, get some kills. Viper just needs to snipe these Trebs. He's got some Cav at home. 4 or 5 Cav in there for the Trebs would be great for him. But hey, I mean, DauT's army count is 65. Oh, that's where Viper's taking stone. Interesting. Okay. Viper, is he going to lose this castle? He's very exposed on the left side, I've noticed. Repairing. Hoping his Trebs will hit. And Viper's just going to give it up. I don't know, man. Like, I like the counterattack idea. I don't mind even avoiding this army, but DauT had 0 army to protect the trebuchets there. Surprised the Viper didn't make a push. Viper under a lot more pressure than maybe I expected here. Cavaliers just now on the way. 28 farms. Showing that with 121 villagers that he's really under pressure. Also can't take this gold at the moment. Can't hit DauT's gold at the moment. Could hit DauT's gold over here, though. He's going to drop a tower. And there he goes. Now he goes. But now DauT's got some army here, so it is a bit different. Obviously, Viper's already lost his castle as well, but he wants to take out DauT's castle. And feels like he could be pretty successful with that, but he didn't really focus down the trebuchets. DauT is in this game? Viper needs more farms. Viper, he takes out the castle. Viper's going to get some raids in over here. Mayan privilege, man. The Mayans. For years, we've been talking about this Civ and how they somehow stand a chance in these ridiculous situations. There is no player more familiar with the Mayans and their strengths than probably DauT. What is this? Viper's dropping a TC here. He's like, that's my gold. That's got a lot of army. That's got a lot of army. And enough of a force to maybe start making Viper be worried here. I can't even cast because of this game. Look, there's not enough cav. Also, if DauT could maybe mix in a few more pikes, I know his food eco isn't great, but some pikes with some arbs and keeping these trebs alive to push right into Viper's base would be awesome. This arb group still hasn't been dealt with. Viper's got gold. Viper's got stone. Viper's got a new TC. Viper's going to raid. But DauT's death ball is actually doing something. His army count is just incredible. What is this, man? This is insane. 1 TC all in with Mayans against Teutons. I can't wait to look at the amount of total villagers in this game. Like, actually, we could look at it now if we really wanted to. Right here. Nope, that's not it. That's not it. Society, look at this. There's a 70 villager difference in terms of what has existed for each player throughout the game. Obviously, Viper has lost a lot more. And he's already has more than DauT at the moment. Viper cannot get Paladin. Viper cannot afford Siege. DauT has all of his ranges queuing more arbs all the time. Whether he loses his army or not, he doesn't care. He just continues to send army forward. Never allows Viper the time to expand his economy. Here he is on this side. Viper has made a tower earlier, you know, and now he's distracted. And Viper looking for that critical mass of Cavalier. It's just so tough for him against this many Arbalests. And the Arbalests are dirt cheap with Mayans, right? Very, very cheap archers for him. I feel like DauT's at a point where he could maybe add a second town center. Now, he might not be able to manage his eco if he does that, so that's why some players won't do it. But adding a second town center does feel like it could be a possibility for him. Here comes the Viper. These things are so slow with Teutons, man. And Viper just wants to take care of the Trebs so he doesn't lose more of his base. 135 population for both. This is insane. And when it comes to Titans League, this is both very important for both players. More so for DauT, though. Who's in second place. Viper, I think, can do with losing a game or two and still maintain first. Obviously, bragging rights because they know each other well. You then have $40 per victory. And then the fact that you just want to freaking win, and this is an amazing game. Viper now adding ranges. Remember, he received the Teutons from DauT because of a civ hiccup from him. And per the rules, if you pick a civilization that's not in your draft, it has to be replayed. And obviously, you then see your opponent's civilization when you do the incorrect one. And so they get to pick your civ, and that's precisely what DauT did here. At Viper, struggling with the Teutons. He's going to try and go elite skirm. Teutons don't have the worst skirms ever, but they definitely don't have the best skirms, and it's not a good sign for Viper. KD is ridiculously close. Viper now going to clear up this farming eco. I mean, DauT is so open right now. Okay, he added the second TC, so now he has more vills. But he's at 80 vills. You don't usually need much more than like 90 or 100 vills with the Mayans because their archers are cheap and the resources last longer. Love how annoying Viper's being here with the stables, though. Sneaky little raids from him. He wants to push over this way with this group, so he's pretty much giving up and trying to avoid this group of Arbalest here. I think because Viper has cheap farms that he should be able to get the food eco to go for skirms here, but it might actually get to a point where DauT can get good enough eco to switch into Eagles then. Because if you look at DauT, he sees the ranges. He knows it's going to be skirmishers. His food eco is getting high now. We could maybe see DauT start to get more infantry upgrades in a bit. Man, what a game. What a crazy game this is. Oh, man. But, like, for Viper, he had such a great start to Castle Age. And I think he, you know, was maybe too early to the town centers. Maybe tried to boom too much. Was a little too greedy, and he's just been getting punished here. But both players have been getting punished. Viper's not getting punished. DauT's not getting punished. The Cavalier will hit DauT's woodline. DauT has nothing here. Meanwhile, Viper's getting hit off this gold. Viper's not reacting there because he's reacting here. This is insane. DauT is reacting to his woodline. Now the Vil counts 90 versus 80. Viper does react on the TC. Viper still needs to deal with this army. And he might actually do it because he has some skirms on the way. Now, they're not imp skirms. He doesn't have any imp upgrades whatsoever. So it's all Castle Age skirms. DauT getting the hill will mean a lot there. Also, like, look at Viper. Viper's seen a lot of the map. He's probably thinking he could just starve DauT of gold right now. Also has 2 relics. I mean, Viper's vision is insane. But now, uh-oh. DauT with the gates, the pikemen, and he's bringing his army back to deal with that big ball. And that's kind of the most important army for Viper right now. And now Halb is in for DauT. Couple house walls for DauT as he knows Viper's going to try and run away. There's definitely a hole over here. Viper could maybe get through. But Viper can't make it out, guys. Not without losses. DauT at 140 pop. What is this game? What is this game? How is DauT even in this game? He will lose quite a few of his Arbalest. Viper's food eco is now up to 48, so he can actually make a lot more skirms. And DauT also has 4 TCs now, so he has more town centers than Viper, and he actually town centered the middle of the map. DauT's going to see this gold, which is really important. DauT's vision is also unreal. Look at DauT's vision on the map, and then look at Viper's vision on the map. Both at like 97, 98%. And I guess, you know, for Viper, he's been stealing some of DauT's gold, but now DauT is stealing his. 5 town centers for DauT. Yeah, true. 5 TCs. We passed the hour mark now. DauT's population 150. Now, felt like it was a little late for what Viper would have wanted because he was trying to sort his eco out. But Viper finally got guard tower in. I think it's a good play. Also 62 farmers. So you could tell that he's finally been able to get a rhythm down with his eco. And it feels like priority number 1 for him is just to kill DauT's town centers here. Like, this is a really big problem. Also, does anyone know? Viper doesn't have conscription, does he? So that's actually a big thing that's hurting Viper because he doesn't have a castle. And I don't think he ever researched conscription, so he's not going to have the same production speed out of his buildings as DauT would if DauT were to get conscription. Also, on that note, I don't think DauT has done it either. Also, you do not have Light Cav or Hussar if you're Teutons. As DauT wants to drop this castle here. We'll see if this even completes. Yeah, lacking those things is a problem. If you want to raid, you'd have to raid with scouts. Now, it's funny because you get full blacksmith upgrades. So they're actually really good scouts, but it's still just scouts. 160 population for both. This is one of the most ridiculous TTL games we've seen for all the right and wrong reasons. We have some great names here. And we have a Civ matchup we probably will never see again in Titans League. Unless somebody forgets their Civ again. We've seen the strength of Teutons. We've seen the weakness of Teutons. We've seen the strength. And not too many weaknesses of the Mayans. But we have seen the strengths and we have seen the weaknesses of both players here. As DauT's desperate to get this castle down. He's sending everything to the middle. And Viper's already massing some bombard cannons to push this castle. Maybe expecting it to complete. Viper needs to back away, though. He needs to back away soon. This is a big issue for him. He could lose all of his skirms. Viper now worried. I mean, I would be worried if I saw my opponent was on Eagles. But look at this. He was actually able to get a raid in again on the gold. And he has the tower up on this gold. So DauT can't easily make the Eagle Warrior switch. Love the skirm number, though, for Viper. The fact that they get the final armor upgrade is really the most important thing. Most of the damage skirms do is bonus damage, remember. So not getting the attack upgrade, not nearly as bad as not getting the armor upgrade. And okay, now DauT's going to try and castle here. Which it feels like he can do because Viper is just going to protect this ball, push back this castle. And we'll see if DauT can get the shot with the trebs. That's what he's going to go for. But yeah, DauT can always just take more stone, which I guess is nice. Man, this is a ridiculous game. Look at Viper. He's back again. So annoying. He's also going to get that relic. Viper's bombard cannons. Did he lose both? No, he lost one. Very stubborn play from DauT, but Viper repositions now to the right side so the Treb can't hit him. Smart thinking. DauT completes his castle, though. DauT now getting Elite Eagle. God, Elite Eagle is going to be so helpful. But man, Viper's raids. Guys, like, I know that there's been some aspects of this game that has just been A little sloppy here or there. But honestly, both players are playing some of their best Age of Empires. In terms of the late game awareness, this is just mind-blowing. Viper's consistent raids on this gold, the consistent focus to raid on this side as well, while also trying to push the middle is incredible. DauT being able to reboom in this game. The fact that he stayed alive in this game despite being behind by 40 vills is already incredible enough. And he seems to have a really solid idea of where Viper's going and what Viper's up to. Like right here, DauT sees it. We'll see if he can get the halbs over. In theory, though, as DauT's getting some raids in over here, what DauT will need, though, is he's going to need eagles in this spot. But just alarm bells and attack signals going off everywhere. DauT finally getting back to his gold. What do you guys think about removing attack signals for late game and capture age for casting? That's just a thought. There's so many in this game. It's just like ding, 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 ding. That bomber cannon down. Man, stubborn play from DauT. This stone, Viper stone, is paying for this, by the way. Viper's also going to be in and two different sides right now. Viper's killed so many vills from DauT here. He's also killing villagers from DauT here. But DauT, he could still push right into Viper's main eco. This is ridiculous. You like it? Well, I mean, I'm not saying I want to do it. It was just a thought. Like, maybe at a certain point, you could turn them off. I actually, as a caster, I need that. Because a lot of the instincts when I'm casting are from playing. And so if I hear it, sometimes it alerts me to what's going on. What I do remove, by the way, I removed the, what's it called? There's a pop-up when someone's being attacked within capture age. I removed that because that's obnoxious. 185 pop for the Viper, who has 2 relics. Still more relics out there. That's obviously giving you gold. Teutons really aren't going to feel that great against Mayans. If the Mayan player is going to be making eagles here, though, and it doesn't seem like DauT's castle in the middle is ever going to go down. These eagles, they're not fully upgraded yet, but they're getting there. And I don't know if DauT will ever get El Dorado this game, but do you really need it when you're up against scouts and you're up against skirms? Viper has hit a wall with the Teutons at this point. It's his 2 vills on gold. I don't know where it is. It's these 2 villagers here, 300 gold remaining. And honestly, I mean, even Mayan skirmishers would be a really good addition here, right? Mayan skirmishers have that unique tech. I think the key for Viper is if he has a chance in this game, though, is he needs to take out one of these castles, and he needs to somehow keep raiding DauT. DauT knows it, too. DauT's going to place this castle here. Sheesh. Hearing too many attack sounds can get old, especially if you're casting for 5+ hours. Yeah, I don't know. It just hit me now. Probably just because this game had so many different attacks at one point. Normally it doesn't happen like this. But yeah, I'll think about it. If I had a hotkey or something, I could see myself removing it in late game. But guys, Viper's army comp is just not very good right now. DauT says great time to get handcart with 98 villagers. Teuton skirms like Bracer. Teuton stable units lack light cav. Lack hussar. What else do you really have at this point? You do have the extra melee armor on your cav. You do have the, well, that would actually not be the scouts, but you know, like your cavalier. You do have access to bombard cannon, which is proving to be helpful here. What a crazy game. Viper also is about to drop this relic off in this monastery, which DauT could take. And DauT finally clears up. He's still got plenty of gold there, right? He's still got 1,000 gold. Viper clearly desperate for it at the moment. Finally, this castle goes down. Teutons do get Bracer. No, they don't. You can see it at the top left. They do get the final armor, though, but they do not get Bracer. And they shouldn't get Bracer because of all the other options they have. You know what's the craziest thing to me about this whole game? Is how, like, DauT's got better farming eco in the middle of the map than he does at home, it feels like. Simeon, you got it wrong, man. You can see it right here. You flip-flopped it in your mind. They don't get Bracer, and they do get the final armor upgrade. You might be confusing them with, like, Slav. No, I think Slavs get the final armor. I don't know. Scouts for Viper, he's got 33 on food, but it doesn't feel like a lot for a save that has the cheapest farms in the game. But he's got a big Can I call it a death ball? It's a little smushy. You know, I don't know if we could call it a death ball. But it is a big ball. Okay, it's something. He's fully popped. First time we've seen Viper in 200 population in a long time. I think it was close to there before. I don't really recall now. He knows he needs to push into the heart of DauT Eco. Also, there's that relic. Viper must have moved the other one to this corner. Viper has moved the relics to the corner, people. So he will have that. Here he comes. That's a lot of skirmishers. If he had like 1,000 more gold and he went for skirms and hand cannons, that would be really good. Because he needs some ranged unit, it feels like, to sit back and be able to actually do something to the Eagles. Because right now, his Cav have to do that. And there's also pointy boys in there. Oof. Dude, Simeon, I don't know if you're trolling me right now, but not the best hill to die on. It shows right here, man. There's a black box. Okay. I'm not saying you don't know anything about the game, but on this one, oh my god! On this one, you are incorrect, my friend. Oh my goodness. The scout, look at this from Viper. He sees immediately when the villagers go out to take his tower, so he goes over with scouts and DauT has to run. Viper even trying to raid back here. And Viper's not going away. It's 3-2 with relics now. And I guess DauT got this one. Yeah, DauT got that one. So we have one here for Viper, and then the other one, I don't even know, actually. It's got to be somewhere over here. There you go. There's two. Whew. Okay. So, a castle here for Viper. Feels like a nice position. DauT's starting to raid. That's not something we've seen from DauT in a long time. He's just been trying to go for the main fights now. Makes sense, though, because you could argue he's in the better position for the main fights. You know, you could say it's a negative to be Teutons right now, but you could also say it's a positive because you can at least raid with something like scouts. DauT's going to have to do halbs. But I kind of like the raiding with halb idea because what's Viper going to send to deal with that? His own halbs? I guess skirms? I don't know, like, it's tricky. I guess it would be skirms. DauT doesn't seem to care too much about tossing away some army to kill some villagers here. Viper doesn't seem to care too much about it either because he's pushing DauT in the middle of the map. Pay attention to the eagle number, guys. It's at 3 right now. And Viper going pikeman, so I guess he has some form of melee. And DauT's actually taking out the town center with halbs. Showing how little Viper has here. But if you're wondering why Viper wouldn't pull more army there, by the way, and he's sending skirms here to hit DauT's villagers, but Viper just doesn't want to respect that too much because the more you respect it, the more DauT pushes you in another area. But he misjudged this one clearly because he's going to lose his TC. And he actually only has 1 TC. So in terms of rebooming, DauT's got like 3. Viper's got 1. And yeah, I mean, Viper, a few hand cannons. You can hear the shots now. Viper's going to chase this and watch what DauT does. Now, usually he's going to have a push that comes in. And he's actually going to treb Viper's TC. Yeah, he is. Viper's at 180 pop. He has 3 relics. But he's reacting an awful lot. It's weird, though, man. It's a crazy game. Viper's got a big ball of skirms. DauT needs to spend... He needs... Okay, after guilds, he's going to sell all that wood. He needs a lot of eagles. Eagle is the key here for DauT right now. I don't think he can afford it, but El Dorado would be huge as well. Just trying to recap where his gold is right now. I guess it's just this. And he's going to be out. So I'd say make eagles and do not get El Dorado because it's a really expensive upgrade. There you go. Halb now for Viper against the Mayans. The Civ that can't make horsemen. But he needs something. 180 pop for both players. Viper, is he out of TCs? Viper has no town centers. Also has a lot of army, just like stuck in the back of his base right now. He's adding more farms. Viper needs to be pushing right now. He needs to be pushing. He needs to go for a killer blow. If you don't have TCs, you're not going to be able to play this game anymore. Where you add new villagers every single time. If you lose villagers now, you're just stuck if you're Viper. And you have to expect that he's going to lose villagers if DauT ever gets eagles in there. DauT's going for El Dorado with 0 on gold. He knows how important those eagles are. They'll go from 60 HP to 100. It's huge. That's so bold, man. I mean, I like it. That's a DauT play. He wants to get as much value from his army as possible. I don't know. I feel like with guilds, selling off some food and wood is still realistic for DauT, plus the relics, so he could probably have more eagles in the long run. He's just going to have to pick his moments. Viper only having 4 hand cannons here is a big problem. Here come the eagles. Let's see what the eagles do. DauT kind of, I guess, distracting with them right now. And he is forcing Viper back. He's also sending in more halbs to go raids in. Something Viper has to react to. He's going to go into Castle Fire. I would say just pull back the eagles. Yeah. Clearly, DauT realizes Viper... Like, they're both trying to pin each other in. DauT's starting to realize Viper's got eco here. He's checking down here, and then he's checking this corner. He's kind of got Viper trapped. And Viper, I guess he thinks that he's keeping DauT from expanding as well. Like, he's going to hit DauT here. He's going to hit DauT here. But... You know, this not having 2 corners is really hurting Viper. Oh, I don't even freaking know, because DauT only has 1 corner. This is crazy. Now conscription comes in for DauT, so he hasn't had that all game. And here go the eagles. And Viper's got a new town center, so we can make more vills. The eagles are going to be tough, though. This is the most important unit in the game for DauT. And that's the unit that Viper doesn't really have a response to. But the eagles now aren't in position. So Viper could pressure this castle in the middle. Is that the right play from DauT? And DauT's just going to loop everything over here. Is he going to take this TC out as well? I mean, there are a lot of villagers back here. So, I mean, this could be bad for both because there's a lot of villagers in the middle for DauT. And also, DauT has the 2 relics there. This is insane. This is chaos, man. This is ridiculous. I don't know why Viper has Teutons. The reasons I've heard is that there was a misclick with the civs. It had to end up going Teutons. DauT gave him Teutons. Viper's played Teutons a lot, though, so I wouldn't necessarily put it past him. DauT's got his farm eco in the freaking middle. Viper doesn't have a TC anymore. I'm just watching the pop at this point because DauT's not losing eco the same rate. So obviously, he's got some stuff exposed in the middle. But yeah, Viper, and he really needs to finish these TCs. Viper really needs to finish this castle, and he needs to keep moving to the south and to the east as he loses eco. He's actually added a couple Teutonic Knights here. Viper at 70 villagers, though. 70 villagers. DauT has 82 halbs. That's insane. And more coming, by the way, as well as a few eagles here or there. And here comes the next wave from DauT. Viper's pop at 130. And that is the lowest we've seen him in some time. He has farms down here he could maybe get to. But guys, he needs vills. Viper only has 50 villagers. Now DauT doesn't have the relics, though. So let's see if Viper can get the monk over there. Maybe reboom back into this game and have the only golden come. The raids from DauT have been relentless. 700 plus kills for both players. It just feels like DauT is waiting. It feels like he's just being as patient as possible, waiting until he gets his mass and he wants to take a fight against the big ball. He just did a lot of damage there. DauT still continues to sell food just so he can make a few more eagles. Honestly, if this is a straight up fight with no castles, I honestly think he needs like 10 eagles and he clears up everything. That's 50 army that he clears up. Actually, more than that. With 10 eagle warriors. 100 HP is just insane. And I think they only take 1 damage from... I know they only take 1 damage from the skirms. The halbs, maybe like 2 or something. Eagles are very strong. Viper did switch in some longswords, which he had teched into earlier in the game, obviously. DauT's still waiting. Now he's going to start to lose his town center, though. Still has halbs running around. Still has eagles running around. Keeping an eye down here. Viper. Let's see. Can he kill this? I mean, if his bombard cannons go down, his push is officially dead. He can't be taking out town centers with skirms and halbs. I think this is it. I think this is it. Also, DauT has found the monastery in the corner, which is a hilarious sight. He might even be able to get his relics. I think this is the end for Viper. Sure, he's got Longswords versus halbs. Who cares? They're Castle Age. What in the world, man? That was incredible. That was incredible. 415 halbs made that game by DauT. 232 skirmishers from Viper. Holy crap. I mean, from the start, we had talking points. The middle of the game had talking points. I thought DauT was so dead in this game. I mean, the guy had 8 villagers running towards the left corner. And I think ended up losing all those villagers. And then somehow came back. What in the world? And an important win as well for Group A in Titans League too, guys. Because DauT now, he's going to have 6 wins minimum, which puts him above some of the others. Obviously, he'll be looking for more here in just a second. Now, I think we did see the weakness of Teutons at times. It really felt like Viper, a very fast player, wasn't able to use his speed as much because of the lack of husbandry. I think we also saw a bit of overconfidence from the Snake at times where he just felt like, yeah, I've got this. I killed all these fills. I'll just add the 4th TC. Until suddenly, DauT came out of nowhere with the Eagle switch, the Pikeman switch, then the Arbalest switch. I mean, let's look at this timeline for just a moment. I mean, look at this. That's one of the best victories you'll ever see from DauT. This is the economy here. There's a massive difference. It's 100 versus 53 at this point, but the problem for Viper was he did not have as much military, and his military was not as effective as it needed to be pretty much throughout the whole game, to be honest. I think his crossbows and his knights early Castle Age was really the only effective military that we saw. But holy, I want to go back to society. I mean, I guess at the end, DauT ended up having more villagers from Viper, or than Viper. 307 total vills in a game is insane. They both were losing so much economy, and they had to continually add it. And then I'm sure you saw this in game, but there's the total KD for you. Viper collected more resources in the game. DauT's army got a lot more value in this game. And $40 in the bank for DauT. To anyone who watches this later on YouTube and you enjoyed this amazing game and you're really curious to see what happens in the rest of the series, I've been uploading the full play all threes from Titans League to my 3rd YouTube channel, which is T90Extras. And it's just got more content there. So we'll have that in the description for you if you want to watch the rest. Looking forward to you seeing that. Oh, wow. I mean, it's not going to beat that, though. That game was so good. Teutons versus Mayans, 90-minute game. Oh, that game was incredible. I loved it. Certainly an unpredictable one. You know, sometimes you see a game with high-level players, and it's predictable, and you just think, well, hey, this person gets this position, or in this game, DauT loses 8 fills, he's dead. But no, this game was not predictable in any way, shape, or form. I didn't think we could see the army comps that these players went for. I didn't think the players could survive as long as they did on both sides. Ridiculous.